the Mazda Familia Rotary Coupe. In the late 1960s, a unique car rolled off the production lines in Japan. The Mazda Familia Rotary Coupe, also known as the Mazda R100 in export markets. This car, produced from 1968 to 1973, wasn't just another sports coupe. It was a bold statement from Mazda, showcasing their commitment to innovation and their willingness to think outside the box. The story of the Familia Rotary Coupe begins in July 1968. Mazda had already made waves with their first rotary engine vehicle, the Cosmo Sport. Riding on this success, they decided to bring rotary power to a more accessible platform. The result was the Familia Rotary Coupe, based on the Mazda RX-85 prototype that had wowed crowds at the 14th Tokyo Motor Show in 1967. But what made this car so special? It all came down to what was under the hood. The Familia Rotary Coupe was powered by Mazda's 10A rotary engine. This wasn't your average piston engine. The rotary engine used a unique design with two rotors, each displacing 491 cc for a total displacement of 982 cc. This compact power plant could produce 100 horsepower at 7,000 revolutions per minute and 98 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 revolutions per minute. The rotary engine was a game changer. Its compact size and light weight allowed Mazda to design a car with excellent weight distribution and handling. However, it wasn't without its challenges. The rotary engine was known for high fuel consumption and required more frequent maintenance than traditional engines. The Familia Rotary Coupe wasn't just about the engine, though. Its design was a perfect blend of sportiness and practicality. With a wheelbase of 2.26 meters, a length of 3.83 meters, a width of 1.49 meters, and a height of 1.34 meters, it was compact yet spacious. Weighing in at just 805 kilograms, it was light on its feet, contributing to its agile handling. The car's suspension setup included independent front suspension and a rigid axle in the rear. It rode on 14-inch wheels with 145 series tires, providing a comfortable ride and good grip. The braking system featured disc brakes at the front and drum brakes at the rear, which was typical for cars of that era. Inside, the Familia Rotary Coupe was designed with both the driver and passengers in mind. It could seat up to 5 people, a remarkable feat for a sports coupe. The dashboard was straightforward, with clear instrumentation including a tachometer and speedometer. Higher-end models even came with a radio and dashboard-mounted speakers, luxury features for a car of its time. The Familia Rotary Coupe hit the Japanese market in 1968, and it didn't take long for it to make an international splash. In 1969, Mazda introduced the Familia Rotary SS, a 4-door sedan variant priced at 638,000 yen. This move expanded the car's appeal, making it attractive not just to sports car enthusiasts, but also to families looking for a unique daily driver. The same year, Mazda began exporting the rotary models to countries like Australia and Thailand. By spring 1970, European drivers could get their hands on this innovative machine. In 1970, Mazda set its sights on the American market, establishing Mazda Motors of America in Washington State. The Familia Rotary Coupe, branded as the Mazda R100 in the U.S., was one of the first rotary engine vehicles available to American buyers. Priced at $2,495 in the U.S., the R100 was $550 more expensive than the conventionally powered Mazda 1200 Coupe. But for that extra cash, buyers got a significant boost in power, 100 horsepower compared to the Mazda 1200's 64 horsepower. Initially available only in the Pacific Northwest, the R100's popularity grew as word spread about its unique engine and spirited performance. But the Familia Rotary Coupe wasn't content with just turning heads on the street. It also made a name for itself on the racetrack. Its racing career kicked off at the Singapore Grand Prix in April 1969. Mazda entered a specially tuned version with the 10A engine pumped up to produce 195 horsepower. This souped-up Familia Rotary Coupe didn't just participate, it won its class, marking its first victory in motorsport. Buoyed by this success, Mazda continued to enter the Familia Rotary Coupe in international racing events. In August 1969, 3 Mazda R100 coupes slightly detuned to 187 horsepower, competed in the grueling Spa-Francorchamps 24-hour race in Belgium. They didn't just finish, they secured 5th and 6th places overall. The same year, a Mazda R100 took on the Marathon de la Route at Nürburgring, one of the most challenging endurance races in the world. While only one of the 3 entered cars finished, it managed to secure 5th place overall, a testament to the car's durability and performance. In November 1969, an even more powerful version of the Familia Rotary Coupe, tuned to produce 214 horsepower, clinched victory at the All-Japan Suzuka automobile race. The R100 continued its racing campaign in Europe throughout 1970, competing in prestigious events like the RAC Tourist Trophy and the Touring Car Grand Prix in West Germany. These racing successes did more than just win trophies. They proved the reliability and competitiveness of the rotary engine in endurance racing, silencing many critics who doubted the unconventional power plant. The experience gained from these races also led to the development of sport kits offered to privateers, allowing enthusiasts to modify their own cars for competitive use. The Mazda Familia Rotary Coupe was more than just a car. It was a bold experiment, a challenge to conventional automotive wisdom, and a stepping stone to Mazda's future rotary-powered successes. It proved that a small Japanese automaker could innovate and compete on the world stage, both on the street and on the racetrack. While production of the Familia Rotary Coupe ended in 1973, its legacy lived on. The lessons learned from this pioneering model paved the way for future rotary-powered Mazdas, culminating in the iconic RX-7 and RX-8 models. Today, the Mazda Familia Rotary Coupe stands as a testament to Mazda's innovative spirit and willingness to push boundaries in pursuit of automotive excellence. The Daihatsu Fellow Max. In the world of automobiles, bigger isn't always better. Sometimes, the most amazing vehicles come in small packages. Today, we're going to explore one such car that tried to make a big impact despite its tiny size, the Daihatsu Fellow Max. Our story begins in Japan during the late 1960s. The country was experiencing rapid economic growth, and more people than ever wanted to own cars. But there was a problem. Japan's crowded cities and narrow streets weren't ideal for large vehicles. This led to the creation of a special category of automobiles called K-cars. K-cars were designed to be small, efficient, and affordable. They had to meet strict size and engine limitations set by the Japanese government. In return, owners enjoyed lower taxes and insurance costs. It was in this environment that Daihatsu, a Japanese automaker known for making small vehicles, saw an opportunity. Daihatsu had already been producing a K-car called the Fellow since 1966, but in April 1970, they introduced something new and improved, the Daihatsu Fellow Max. This little car was about to make a big splash in the Japanese auto market. The Fellow Max was a significant upgrade from its predecessor. While the original Fellow used a rear-wheel drive layout, the new Fellow Max was front-wheel drive. This might not sound like a big deal, but it was a game-changer. Front-wheel drive allowed for more interior space and better handling, especially in slippery conditions. Let's talk about the Fellow Max's size for a moment. It was tiny by today's standards, measuring just 118 inches long and 51 inches wide. To put that in perspective, it was shorter than many modern compact cars. But don't let its small size fool you. The Fellow Max was packed with innovation. Under the hood, the standard Fellow Max was powered by a 360cc two-cylinder, two-stroke engine called the ZM4. This little power plant could produce 33 horsepower, which doesn't sound like much, but remember, this car only weighed about 550 kilograms. The engine was paired with a 4-speed manual transmission, allowing drivers to make the most of the available power. But Daihatsu didn't stop there. In July 1970, they introduced a sportier version called the Fellow Max SS. This hot hatch, avant la lettre, came with a twin carburetor engine called the ZM5, boosting power to 40 horsepower. The SS could reach a top speed of 120 kilometers per hour, making it quite peppy for a K car of its time. The Fellow Max wasn't just about performance, though. It also introduced safety features that were uncommon in K cars of the era. For example, it came equipped with front disc brakes, which provided better stopping power than the drum brakes used by many competitors. Daihatsu offered the Fellow Max in several variants to appeal to different types of buyers. The Fellow Max Custom was an upscale version with a fancier interior and chrome accents. For younger drivers, there was the Fellow Max Personal, which came in bright colors and sporty decals. And for those who wanted the most luxurious K-car experience possible, Daihatsu offered the Fellow Max Deluxe, complete with air conditioning and an AM radio. But perhaps the most interesting variant wasn't a Fellow Max at all. The Fellow Buggy, despite sharing part of its name, was actually built on the chassis of another Daihatsu vehicle called the Hidget. This quirky little car featured a fiberglass body and was aimed at adventurous drivers looking for something truly unique. The Fellow Max arrived at just the right time. The 1970s saw a series of oil crises that made fuel efficiency more important than ever. With its small engine and lightweight, the Fellow Max was perfectly positioned to meet the needs of cost-conscious Japanese consumers. But the Fellow Max wasn't just economical, it was also fun to drive. Its lightweight and nimble handling made it a joy to navigate through tight city streets. The sporty SS model in particular gained a following among driving enthusiasts who appreciated its zippy performance. The Fellow Max's success didn't go unnoticed by other automakers. It faced stiff competition from other popular K-cars like the Honda N360 and the Suzuki Fronte. But the Fellow Max held its own, thanks to its innovative design and advanced features. Production of the Fellow Max continued through the 1970s, with the car receiving updates and improvements along the way. It played a crucial role in establishing Daihatsu as a major player in the K-car market, a position the company continues to hold today. The impact of the Fellow Max extended beyond just Daihatsu. It helped popularize the front-wheel drive layout among K-cars, a configuration that's now standard in the category. Its success also demonstrated the viability of high-performance K-cars, paving the way for future sporty models in this class. Today, the Daihatsu Fellow Max is considered a classic of Japanese automotive design. While it may not have the international recognition of some larger Japanese cars, it holds a special place in the hearts of K-car enthusiasts and automotive historians. The Mitsubishi Debonair 5. This Japanese luxury sedan, produced from 1986 to 1992, is one of forgotten gem that represents Mitsubishi's attempt to compete in the high-end car market. The story of the Debonair 5 begins in 1986. Mitsubishi Motors, a company known more for its sturdy economy cars and capable off-roaders, decided it was time to refresh its flagship luxury offering. The original Debonair, which had been in production since 1964, was showing its age. It was clear that a new model was needed to keep up with the changing times and growing expectations of Japan's executive car buyers. Enter the Debonair 5. This new model was a complete departure from its predecessor, embracing modern design and engineering principles. One of the most significant changes was the switch to a front-engine, front-wheel drive layout. This was a bold move in a segment where many competitors still clung to the traditional rear-wheel drive setup. The benefits of this new layout were clear. By moving the engine and drivetrain to the front, Mitsubishi's engineers were able to create a more spacious interior without needing to completely redesign the car's underpinnings. This clever packaging allowed for a flat floor inside the cabin, significantly increasing legroom for rear passengers, a crucial feature for a luxury sedan often used to transport high-ranking executives. The Debonair 5 came in various sizes to suit different needs and comply with Japanese regulations. The smallest version, equipped with a 2.0-liter engine, measured 184.6 inches in length. On the other end of the spectrum, the top-of-the-line Royal 150 variant stretched to an impressive 197.4 inches. Despite these differences in length, all versions of the Debonair 5 shared a sleek, conservative design that was typical of Japanese luxury cars of the era. Under the hood, the Debonair 5 offered a range of engine options, all part of Mitsubishi's Cyclone family. The base model came with a 2.0-liter V6 engine, known as the 6G71. This smaller engine was primarily aimed at the Japanese market, where it allowed the car to meet strict local tax regulations based on engine size. For those seeking more power, Mitsubishi offered a 3.0-liter V6 engine, the 6G72. This larger power plant came in two flavors. a single overhead camshaft version producing around 150 horsepower, and a more powerful double overhead camshaft variant. With the 3.0-liter engine, the Debonair 5 could reach a top speed of 121.1 miles per hour, although it was electronically limited to 111.8 miles per hour to comply with Japanese regulations. All versions of the Debonair 5 came equipped with a 4-speed automatic transmission, which was the standard for luxury sedans of the time. This combination of smooth V6 power and a relaxed automatic gearbox contributed to the car's refined driving experience. Inside, the Debonair 5 was a testament to Mitsubishi's commitment to luxury. The cabin was adorned with high-quality materials, including plush upholstery and wood trim. Mitsubishi's engineers put considerable effort into reducing noise, vibration, and harshness, making the Debonair 5 one of the quietest cars in its class. Even the trunk was designed with luxury in mind, capable of holding 2 sets of golf clubs, a feature that appealed to the car's target market of business professionals. But perhaps the most intriguing chapter in the Debonair 5 story is the creation of the 3000 Royal AMG variant. In 1987, Mitsubishi partnered with AMG, a German company known for tuning Mercedes-Benz vehicles. This collaboration was unusual for its time, as AMG had not yet achieved the global recognition it enjoys today. The result of this partnership was the Debonair 5 3000 Royal AMG, a special edition that combined Japanese luxury with German tuning expertise. However, unlike typical AMG creations that focused on performance upgrades, the changes to the Debonair 5 were largely cosmetic. The 3000 Royal AMG featured a unique body kit, special alloy wheels, and AMG badging. Inside, it boasted upgraded leather upholstery, exclusive wood trim, and a distinctive AMG steering wheel. Despite all of this, the Mitsubishi Debonair 5's journey in the market was not an easy one. In its home country of Japan, it faced stiff competition from well-established rivals like the Toyota Crown and Nissan Cedric. These competitors had already secured their places in the hearts and minds of Japanese executives, making it difficult for the Debonair 5 to gain a foothold. Mitsubishi's lack of reputation in the luxury sedan segment also worked against the Debonair 5. Many potential buyers gravitated towards brands they were more familiar with, leaving the Debonair 5 struggling to make its mark. Despite these challenges, the car did find a modest level of success among buyers who appreciated its spacious interior, good build quality, and unique appearance. Today, the Mitsubishi Debonair 5 has found a new life as a collector's item, particularly the rare 3000 Royal AMG variant. Car enthusiasts value it for its rarity, its unique collaboration with AMG, and its place in automotive history. The Debonair 5 represents a period when Japanese automakers were pushing boundaries, exploring new partnerships, and attempting to redefine luxury on their own terms. The Nissan Leopard F30. In the early 1980s, as Japan's economy boomed, automakers raced to create exciting new luxury sports cars. Among these was a model that time has largely forgotten, the Nissan Leopard F30. This sleek and innovative vehicle combined luxury, performance, and cutting-edge technology in a way that captured the spirit of its era. The story of the Nissan Leopard F30 begins in September 1980. Nissan, one of Japan's largest car manufacturers, launched this new model as the first in its Leopard series. The F30 was designed to be a specialty luxury car competing with other Japanese models like the Toyota Chaser and Toyota Soarer. What made the Leopard F30 unique was its dual identity. It came in 2 distinct body styles, a 4-door hardtop sedan and a 2-door hardtop coupe. Interestingly, Nissan sold these versions through different dealership networks. If you wanted the sedan, you'd head to a Nissan Cherry store. For the coupe, you'd visit a Nissan store. The Leopard F30 filled an important gap in Nissan's lineup. It sat above the Nissan Bluebird 810, but below the larger Nissan Cedric. This positioning made it perfect for buyers who wanted something more luxurious than a standard family car, but not quite as large or expensive as a full-size luxury sedan. Let's talk about the Leopard F30's looks. Its design was pure 1980s, all sharp angles and bold lines. Both the sedan and coupe versions shared slim C and D pillars and large glass areas. This not only looked cool, but also gave drivers excellent visibility. The two-door coupe was especially striking, featuring a unique glass-to-glass rear window design that made it stand out on the road. Under the hood, the Nissan Leopard F30 offered some impressive engine options. The base model came with a 2.0-liter L20ET engine. This turbocharged inline-six produced 145 horsepower. It was one of Nissan's first turbocharged engines, showcasing the company's growing expertise in forced induction technology. For those who wanted even more power, Nissan offered a 2.8-liter L28E inline-six engine. While this larger engine wasn't turbocharged, it delivered smooth linear power that many drivers preferred. The L28E came paired with a 5-speed manual transmission, making it a favorite among driving enthusiasts. The Leopard F30's performance wasn't just about raw power. Its rear-wheel drive layout gave it balanced handling, and its suspension, using struts in front and a semi-trailing arm design in the rear, provided a mix of comfort and sportiness. Four-wheel ventilated disc brakes ensured strong stopping power, while 195/70 SR14 tires offered a good balance of grip and ride comfort. But what really set the Nissan Leopard F30 apart was its technology. In 1982, Nissan introduced a world-first feature in the Leopard: steering wheel switches that used optical communications. This allowed drivers to control various functions without taking their hands off the wheel, a feature we take for granted today, but which was revolutionary at the time. Higher-end Leopard F30 models also featured a digital instrument cluster. In the early 1980s, when most cars still used analog gauges, this gave the Leopard's interior a futuristic feel. The cluster included a real-time fuel consumption gauge, helping drivers monitor their efficiency, an increasingly important feature as fuel prices rose. Perhaps the Leopard F30's most eye-catching tech feature was its optional 6-inch CRT TV screen. Located in the dashboard, below the air conditioning controls, this screen could display broadcast TV when the car was parked. While it wasn't a touchscreen and couldn't show navigation maps, it could display radio settings and even had inputs for connecting a camcorder. The audio and video equipment was supplied by Sony, ensuring high quality. The Nissan Leopard F30 wasn't just about performance and technology, it was also a genuine luxury car. Its interior was spacious and well-appointed, featuring high-quality materials throughout. This blend of sportiness and luxury put it in direct competition with cars like the Toyota Chaser and Soarer, as well as some European luxury models that were gaining popularity in Japan. Despite its impressive features, the Nissan Leopard F30's time in the spotlight was relatively short. Production ran from 1980 to 1986, after which it was replaced by a new generation. During its lifespan, the F30 helped establish Nissan's reputation for producing high-quality luxury vehicles that could compete on the global stage. Today, the Nissan Leopard F30 is largely forgotten outside of enthusiast circles, but for those who remember it, the F30 represents a unique moment in automotive history.